And so how will I know when people are on here? Oh, over here, where I'll still be turning my face. I don't know. Should I be making a post on Facebook?
Good.
There's one person on. So now this would be just like on Facebook then? People would be able. Oh, there's Christopher saying hi. My first customer.
Customers you charge.
I know. I know. So there's 2 people on currently. Oh, what?
You go get my tablet, 50% more people will be on.
Woohoo! There's 3 on right now. All right, so this is the very first time we are going live. Hello, Natasha. That we are going live on YouTube. So this is something that Jeff's been working on the last couple of days, that he thought doing videos. He's playing it now in the other room, so I just heard me talking. That's really weird. That it would make more sense for videos to be here on YouTube, and it would be an easier place for people to go back and find older ones. I know we had people having a hard time finding it on Facebook. So, and then also call me paranoid. There's just so many issues that's been happening with Facebook, with, going to sound like conspiracy theory or whatever, but eventually I think Facebook's going to go bye-bye. So I guess I need to start learning how to do this YouTube stuff and do it over here. And hello, Debbie. So, yeah, so Jeff's now hooked it up here. So where before when I would go live in Gossip and everything, it was on my laptop screen that's over here, that I was originally using the web camera, and then Jeff bought this thing that was on top of there. And so I was always filming from this one and then would be reading stuff on this one. He's now flipped it around and now has this fancy schmancy camera and everything that's up over here, that's on a tripod back here, and he's got a light on me and everything. I don't know. This is too fancy. So, I'm not all whited out and look weird. Natasha says, much better video quality here. Well, this is also because Jeff's rigged it up with a whole different camera and everything. So, yeah, it'll look better, even though I was like, look at me. Yeah, I just have my hair thrown up, no makeup. Like, I really care. But there you go. So we'll be doing lives from here, and I'll still be doing lives in Gossip, where, since this is public and anybody can see this stuff, Rick says, first post after listening all this time, much better than Facebook. Well, thank you very much, Rick. Jeff was just messing with the camera again, so you never know what he's adjusting over there. So Debbie said, my request for and then you got cut off. Hi, Trish. And Debbie says, oops, hold on. So we'll be doing lives mostly from here, but I will still be doing lives in Gossip when I really want to rip on something or another and don't want it to be public. And Jeff has been uploading our old videos to this channel. And then once it's been moved over to here, it's being deleted off of Facebook. So, so you won't be able to find it there anymore. You'll only be able to find the older videos here. So, and then, because see, I don't do YouTube. I've told you guys before, and now he's turning on more lighting. Ooh. um, it took forever for people to get me off of MySpace to go to Facebook. And now you're trying to get me to go from Facebook, where I've been for what's Facebook been? 9 years, 10 years? And now you're trying to bring me over to YouTube. So I'm afraid of change. So it's gonna take a little while for me to figure out how to do all this stuff. But so people are giving me all these tips on things to do with Facebook. Like, I've been told not to swear.
YouTube.
What did I say? Facebook. See, good thing Jeff's here. All right, for YouTube, I'm told not to swear. And I'm also told that, like, I should be doing regular videos that are like the same bat time, same bat channel type thing. And that's the only way I'd be able to, like, grow the audience. I don't know. So, something we talked about in a live that we did yesterday. Sorry, he just turned the light on again and let there be light. We like to watch shows together and discuss. So Jeff works Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights. So I'm here by myself on Friday nights, and on the rare occasions I have something to do. Like tomorrow I'm supposed to go somewhere, but I'm thinking of blowing it off. So maybe we could do Fridays where we watch a documentary together and discuss. Let me see. Debbie says, when you go to Manitowoc, can you find out about the officer or individual that supposedly lived on Cuss Road, thinking they knew something about the day all the activity took place? Yeah, we're going to focus a lot on Cuss Road when we go. But who lived there, whether they still live there, that I don't know about. But yeah, we'll do something. Rick says, also when in Manitowoc, tried to talk to the 2 jurors that were removed from jury. Well, the one juror, Richard Mahler, he would never talk to me because he's all buddy up with the people that all hate me. So, he would never talk to me. So, and I don't know the names of the other jurors to be able to reach out to them. So that's something we talked about yesterday, that's what this video is going to be. That let's talk about, Jeff and I are going to be going to Manitowoc, and we're going to go to the different spots that are associated with Stephen's case. Oh, Rick, do you know their names? So you can message them to me. Jill says, hey, Jax, welcome to the wide world of YouTube. Oh, yeah, I'm totally new to it. So we'll see. Debbie says, I feel like this is going to grow so big. Who knows, Debbie? There's people like me, people hate me. So, but also by doing this on something that is just called Justice with Jax, that makes it so it opens up to, we can discuss more, that it's not making a murder specific. So we can talk about other cases. We can talk, anything that has to do with injustice. It's now all open to us. So, and I do feel like, I was going to swear. Maz found us. Good. So maybe I should do what I used to do once upon a time. I used to have a website. I started it in 2000. It was called Media Fiends. And I covered reality TV. And if I wanted to swear, because people would complain about my language, I would write articles and such. Um, and we would have people who would complain about my potty mouth. So I would change the swears and say Smurf instead. So maybe I'll start doing that for YouTube. So, you figure out what I have replaced with Smurf. Oh, Debbie says, well, I love you the best out of anyone I watch. Oh, thank you, Debbie. That's nice to hear. And Maz says, I haven't got a clue how to reply. Well, you're doing it. So I'm seeing your comments, Maz. I see that you said hi to Julie too. So you're figuring it out. Natasha says, I'd be no good on YouTube. I'm Captain F-Bomb. I'm right there with you. Julie says, we can still swear in chat though. Haha, we'll swear for you. There you go. You guys can figure, so you'll be able to post in chat what I really meant to say. So I feel like a smurfing idiot for having something called Justice with Jax, with having my name in there. And I've explained this before in gossip, but it was Tammy from WMP Justice Review. She's the one that suggested I do something and include my name in it. And then Julie's listing all the different swears. And so then she suggested I call it Just Jax. Just Jax. And then when I talked to Marnie Yang about it, she said Justice with Jax. So that's where Justice with Jax comes from. And now Jeff turned on a different light. And now he's taking that light bulb out and putting a different light bulb in. Ready, set, action. Rick says, message me after the live. Interesting. What? Oh my God. Debbie says, the only thing I dislike about YouTube, you can't like on people's comments. You have to put @ in their YouTube name. Jewel says, you look a little green. That's because the rope lights that are above my head are a bluish green. Marcus says, hey, it's Miley. Oh, Mark keeps stealing my Google name. Well, hey, Miley / Marcus. Maz said, I saw a recent live YouTube with the lady discussing Stephen's case. Not only was she smurfing, blinding, she was also a chain smoker. Julie says, that's better. Yeah, I'm blinded by it, but oh, now he's trying to change the color on this bulb, and it didn't work. And now I'm seeing spots before my eyes of looking into this light bulb as I'm trying to read your stuff. Christy, LOL, make your producer and lighting employee say hi to us. Jeff, they want you to say hi.
Nope.
Jeff says no. Jeff, come over here and let them see your sexy face. Miley says, is Jeff coming on with you? Jeff, come over here so they can see you.
Production never sleeps.
He says he's busy. Production never sleeps. Oh, Natasha says you'll need a ring light. Oh my God. I see those like for people's cell phones for their selfies and such. It's so not me because, like, again, my hair's just thrown up in a clip and I have no makeup on. I am who I am, and I have these dumb glasses on. Debbie says, don't get confused in the future because I will be changing my YouTube name. Well, you're going to have to tell me who. He's getting really creative here now, putting a napkin over the light bulb. And then it'll catch on fire. Miley says, come on, Jeff, don't be shy. We aren't creepers. That's Kratz.
I am very sweaty.
He says, did you hear him? He says he's very sweaty. Jules says those ring lights cast green rings on glasses though. I always see that in the movies, that there's always the green thing on people's glasses, and it's like you would think that you could be some kind of film that you could put over glasses that you won't see that. Oh, Maz is saying you're shy. Natasha says, oh man, don't worry about makeup. I'd make a grown man cry if you saw me right now. Yeah, Jules, creepercrats. Jules says that's the right color. Keep that. Jeff agrees. Will you come on camera now that it's the right color? Come over here. Come here.
Things to do.
Just come here and show them your ugly face.
Busy.
Come here. Come here.
Promote my own YouTube channel.
Yeah, Jeff's got a YouTube channel.
That's linked on your page.
I know, I saw it. Come here. There's Jeff. And there's Mallory and Maddie.
Nobody can see them back there.
And Mickey. Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
I can on my screen.
Well, nobody on YouTube can't.
Oh. Miley says you're handsome. Oh, and now Window Jesus. Pull Window Jesus off the window.
No, it'll not get it.
No? Well, I still have the one in the package. Who won it the other day when we were on the Window Jesus? Somebody won it. And I don't recall who. So somebody won this, and I'm supposed to send it out to him. So, all right. Let's get into Manitowoc trip. Maz says, hi, Jeff from UK. Glad I stayed up to see you at long last. It's 1:15 a.m. here, so thank you again, Jeff. Christopher says, Jax, you should consider getting a Patreon account. What's that? No. Jeff says, no. I don't know what that is. Okay. Julie talking to Miley. All right, so Manitowoc. Jeff and I will be heading to Manitowoc. I guess, like I've said a million times, I can't tell you when I'm going to go. Even though it shouldn't really matter, I'm not going to go on Avery property or, any place that's not legal for me to go. So, shouldn't matter, but still not going to tell you guys when I'm going to go. But we need to make a list of where all you want Jeff and I to visit. And so I was talking about the live I did yesterday on needing a producer for this trip. If somebody would put together all the addresses, all the places that you want Jeff and I to go to film so you can see it. I'd be really grateful if you could, compile them all. We've got, I made threads. There's one on Justice with Jax on Facebook. There's one on MAM Gossip. There's even one on Stephen Avery Project. So if you want to compile them all, put them together, and then message it to me, I will follow that list and go wherever. We are going to devote a day to it. So we'll drive wherever. So obviously we're going to go to Cuss Road, so we'll be there, but this time I won't walk into the deer camp for the Verdant family to file trespassing charges against me. I will not be going into the salvage yard or anything like that. I know that's a major thing, but you can go back through, Jeff is, there's still up. Jeff's on a different floor of the house now. He's not up here with me. And now he's watching like a weirdo in another room, and typing here. So, you can watch our older videos. Jeff and I have gone up to Manitowoc 3 times, I think, and filmed different things. So you'll be able to find them and see from our other trips, because there was a that's funny, Jeff. Yeah, 225 in an envelope. There you go. Uh but we were there like 2 or 3 times when we were in the family's good graces. So we have walked the Path of God, the Pam Stern Path of God, and filmed that. And we filmed from the bus stop to where the van was. So we've got a bunch of videos, and you'll be able to find them now here in this YouTube channel. So we've already pretty much covered the salvage yard anyway. So, but we'll make a couple different videos. We'll film. So Cuss Road is a definite. We'll go to the dam. We'll go to the Senex station. We'll show you the distance in driving from the salvage yard to Cuss Road. But it's, where else do you want us to go? Do you want us to go to the Hall Box? Do you want us to go to Scott's aluminum foundry, where possibly burn-in smelter at 2 a.m.? So it's all, you guys give me your suggestions. And then, like, if anybody has connections with people in Manitowoc and you want us to try talking to somebody, or if you know somebody who would want to talk with us, like I would love to talk to the bus driver. I would love to talk to jurors. Miley and Red Lobster for lunch, of course. I'm happy to talk to anyone. Or now that we're on YouTube right now, that's public. I know all my haters will be watching, and the Avery family will be watching. So if the Avery family would want to come on live with me, let's do it. Let's have it out. Live. Ooh, Jules says maybe go to Teresa's gravesite in Carmen's too. Could pay our respects, yes. Maz says, so when you do live from there, will that be in MAM Gossip or here? I know there are locals in MAM Gossip. Everything now, I think, like with that, will originate here. And then, once this live is done, it'll then get the link will get posted in Gossip. And then I'll do that. I'll post a reminder in there that we're going to be going live on YouTube. But then I'll also still be doing lives in Gossip when I want to really spill the tea. Because obviously now here, with this being public and you don't have to be a member to see it, when I really want to talk Smurf about something, you'll get that in Gossip. When I want to truly be able to say whatever I want to say and not use Smurf. Natasha says, make sure you mash the notification button. And then Miley says, how would you feel about stopping on Cuss Road and talking to some of those folks? I wonder if the same people live there. I don't know. Because I truly don't want to bother anyone and annoy them. And I don't know how much those people have had to deal with over the years, especially since Making a Murderer came out, of, I'm not the first person to go to Cuss Road. There's tons of people that do it. So have other people gone and harassed them? I don't know. I don't know if since you all are the best investigators, if you can look up the names of the people who lived in those houses then. And then when I go, maybe I look on their mailboxes and see if those are the same people. And then maybe if they, if it is, then I approach them. I just don't want to harass just anybody. Jules says Manitowoc County gravel pit. Yeah, I've only driven past a gravel pit because all my trips before, the gravel pit's never mentioned. So I've been in the quarry. I've never been in the gravel pit. So yeah, that'll definitely be a stop, Jules. Maz says, oh, I didn't realize anyone can see you now. Yeah, so because this video is a public video, but I guess there is I can make something private that only subscribers can get. So I don't know if that's something I should do with like the Manitowoc trip. Should I make that for subscribers only? I don't know. I'm completely new to this. Jules says, I'm watching and listening on my TV and chatting with my phone. Tricky, huh? You're a good multitasker. Good for you. Maz said Carol Ann would know who lived there. Carol Ann knows everything. Natasha says, I'd like to see where Teresa lived in relation to the salvage yard in Ryan Hillgas. And I've never been to the Hallback farm. So yeah, that will be an interesting. So that's a definite as well that we need to go to Hallback. I don't know where Ryan Hillgas lived. So that again will be left to you all. Can somebody get me the address? Miley says, I understand that, Jax, and I would worry about you and Jeff. Want you to stay safe. Jeff's. So something I was considering as I'm saying I need a. Jeff's adjusting something again, so something's not right. Maz says, yes, Jeffo for subscribers only. So are you getting paid now you're on YouTube? I don't understand how it all works. Maz, I guess the way monetizing videos on YouTube works is that you have to have 1,000 subscribers before you qualify for monetization. And then I don't know if that's like an automatic thing that now you qualify and now you can start making money off your videos. But then that also means that ads go into the videos. I don't know how that all works. So Jeff's going to have to explain that to me if we ever hit that 1,000 mark, because I don't have a clue. Where are we on here? Natasha says, I'll see if I can dig it up. Thank you, Natasha. Debbie says, yes, that's true. And people can send money also. Oh, really? So the thing I was talking about yesterday in the live was because I'm really lazy, and so I really would love for somebody to, like I said, make the itinerary for where all Jeff and I should go, listing the addresses and what they are. So I've still got these 2 books here, these autographed books that have been sitting here for years, that I've got the one signed by John Farrick, and it's backwards when I look at it on the screen. And so this one signed by John Farrick. And then this one is signed by Buting. So if somebody compiles it all to me and gets it to me, you can have your pick of which of these books you want, and then we'll send it out to you as a thank you for doing that hard work for me. Maz says, what the fuck, really? Oops, I shouldn't swear. What the smurf? Well, I hope you start getting paid because you so deserve to for all the time and effort you put in. Oh, well, thank you, Maz. I'm going to get accused of stealing it, though. Jules says, you could also get sponsors, but you have to talk about their product. Patreon is where subscribers can donate money to your channel, I think. Is that what that is, Jeff? Where is he? Thought he was in the next room. Now I think he's back downstairs. Jeff's been doing the YouTube thing for a while. He watches tons of videos, and he also does a lot with, we've got a pond and fish out there, and then he's got a million fish tanks downstairs. So he's got a lot of videos about his fish. So Jeff knows this YouTube stuff. I have no clue. Debbie says, I wish I could find the address of where she is, the corner. Yeah, I feel so bad for the corner. I really, really do. That really bothered me in Making a Murderer 2, when we now heard from the coroner just what she went through, and that she also lost her job at the end of that due to everything that was done to her. That's freaking horrible. Oh, there's Jeff again. So, and I was talking about, all right, so watching shows together. So I was thinking of doing it on Fridays, but then trying to come up with a time that works for the multiple time zones that are on here. So like right now, my time it's 7:32 p.m. So if I was to do it, well, and I could also, we could do double features where I do one at 3:00 and then do one at like this time, because here in my time zone, when you do it at 3:00, people are still at work. Now it's 7:30, people are home from work, they've had dinner, and they could watch something. So maybe we do that double feature day. And so the first one we'll watch will be Dream Killer. So maybe we'll be doing that tomorrow. I could for sure be doing the 3:00 one. Because if I go out tomorrow, the thing's from 7 to 9 or 10, but I think I'm blowing that off. And so then every Friday we'll watch another documentary and discuss. Let me look back. Jules says, ads usually run before your video starts. Excuse me. They must run for 30 seconds in order for it can be considered for payment. YouTube has weird rules. Yeah, that is weird. And Jules says she feels so bad for the coroner. Yeah. Ugh. Maz says, yippee. And Jewel says, be sure to check if sharing viewing of produced shows is okay with YouTube. Well, what I would do with it, Jules, is what we ended up doing when we were watching Making a Murderer. Well, when we first did it, I had it so I had the camera over my shoulder pointing at my TV, and then somebody reported it. And hello, Cindy. So it got reported. So then what I had to do is you could listen to it, but not watch it. So since we'd be watching shows that are like from Netflix, it would be, okay, so we're meeting at 3 p.m. and at 3:15 is when we're going to hit play. And so everybody could be playing it themselves to have the video, and you'll have, but the audio will be here and we'll just discuss as we go along. Tiffany says, is the Dream Killer just put on Netflix the same as the one on Prime? Yes, it is the same one, so it just went there. Oh my God, Samantha. Samantha says, watched Dear Zachary last night. I am still angry. Did you sob? So sad. And that will be one of the ones that we watch. We talked about this yesterday. It's going to go on Netflix on December 17th. So we'll watch it. But I said I will leave screen for when it's time for my ugly cry, because it is the saddest thing I have ever seen. Jeff, did I make you watch Dear Zachary?
What was that one about?
I can't say. I don't think I made you watch it, because I don't want to ruin it for those who haven't seen it. So I can't say, but it's a sad. I probably didn't, because I sob like crazy. So yeah, that's a rough one, Dear Zachary. And there's also a book. Cindy says, what about the place where Teresa supposedly knocked on the guy's door? Where is that located at? That would have to be on Cuss Road, Cindy, right? Is that where it is? Or are they saying, yeah, I would think that has to be by Cuss Road. And hey, Header, hey. Yeah. Cindy says, keep reloading. Beth, are you having an issue watching it? No. Okay. Pam says, yes, it was on Cuss Road. Jules says, where is Xander Road in comparison to Salvage Yard? It's right on one side of it. So you've got 147 and then you've got Xander. So you can get, that's how we get on to the quarry, is Xander Road, and then the quarry back there. And on one of our trips, we had gone to the Zipperers, and we took Xander Road to get to the Zipperers house. Heather says, can you go to the Foundry, Time Foundry to Avery property? Yeah. Oh, and we should go where Scott's trailer had been, right? But Scott's trailer was, not that far down on 147, right? Where Bobby was claiming he was going hunting, but Scott was going hunting somewhere else. Miley says, yes, it was on Cuss Road. Someone posted a map and specified address, 4102 or 4120 Cuss Road. Heather says, yes, wasn't it by the turnabout her car was seen? Yeah. So that's Cuss Road. So, and I posted in Gossip the picture, so on Reddit, there's all those tons of pictures that somebody just recently posted, and there were aerial shots. And so from those aerial shots, you can see just how close all this stuff really is. So where the RAV4 was found, where Steven's trailer is, where the deer camp is, where Cuss Road is, it's all right there. But to drive to it, you have to drive around it all. But even that doesn't take that much time. I know the last time Jeff and I went, we timed it. Do you recall how long it took?
What?
When we went from the salvage yard to Cuss Road?
Like 8.5 minutes.
Right. Yeah, Jeff says it was like
4 miles out of the way. You can walk there in like 30 seconds.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear Jeff or not. But yeah, so he says it took like 8.5 minutes to drive from one to the other. Natasha says, are you wearing a Justice with Jack shirt? Yes, I am. That's my son texting me, so hold on. Let me see what my son says. Ha! It's my son asking me to go to a movie with him tomorrow night. So maybe I will be busy tomorrow. Because when your kid asks you to go to a movie with them. So yeah, this is one Justice with Jack shirt. Then there's another one. Yeah, Natasha says, all right, time to sell the merch. Well, I've said before, Heather, if anybody wants any shirts that say anything, you need to contact Jeff. And Jeff, where's your business card? I could hold your business card up to the camera. But you could reach out to Jeff. You could email him. I know I've shared in Gossip the link to his Facebook page, but his email is jeff@advanceoffsetpress.com. So you could reach out to Jeff and he can print whatever you want. So if you wanted a Justice with Jack shirt, if you want an MAM Gossip shirt, Stephen Avery project, Avery Salvage, not print, press, Heather, Jeff at advanceoffsetpress.com. Ooh, Natasha says you can put his info in video description on videos. There you go. Jeff's the one that's typing everything. So, yep, that's correct now, Heather. So Jeff can print whatever you want on whatever you want. Shirts, jackets, hats, coffee mugs, whatever. And then that way you email him and deal with him directly and you guys all work it out on whatever you're going to do and you leave me out of it. I'm still going to be accused of stealing your money either way. But, so, and then the way, oh, now my son says the movie is sold out. So Jeff's got a PayPal. And so you would then, and is your PayPal the Advance Offset Press? Yeah. So that email address is the same thing for his PayPal. So you would just discuss with Jeff what you want. He would need to know where you live so he can calculate what the shipping cost will be. And you pay his PayPal and he'll make it and send it off to you. Pamela says, Carla will be up your Smurf. Yep. So, that's why I shy away from all of this stuff. But it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Christopher says, is it possible for you to speak to one of the Hallbachs? It would be nice to know their stance on all of the evidence that points to Stephen's innocence. No D, Jules. It's Advance with just no D at the end. I would talk to the Hallbachs. I've got no issue with talking to them, but I also don't want to intrude and make things weird. So that would again be, if somebody has contact with them, or has a way to reach out to them, let me know, because yep, that's correct, Jules. And there's Jeff now typing too. I defend the Hallbachs a lot, because I know people want to talk about how creepy they are, that they show no emotion, but people are different on how they deal with their grief, so there's people that have been raised with, you don't show weakness ever. So, so I'm not going to fault them there on that, but I fault them now for not caring to look at all the evidence, because that's what I would personally have to do if this was my loved one. I need to know what really happened. Natasha says, if she can go to Red Lobster, you can sell shirts. I'm sure you'll have more on your channel other than Avery stuff. True. Heather says she can't see comments. Does anybody know why that is? Can everybody see each other's comments? Well, I know people did because Jules and Maz were talking to each other. Oh, and now Heather can see Julie. Okay. So, Manitowoc. Where all do we need to go? And we could be going this weekend. So the sooner we know, the better. So we can make that trip. It's about a 3-hour drive, right? Yeah. So it's about a 3-hour drive for us. So, but we've got all day. We'll go wherever. Heather says, where haven't you been yet? I have not been to the Hall Box. I'm sure I've driven past where Scott's trailer had been, not realizing that's where his trailer had been. I have not been to those caves. What is that? The Maribel Caves? Is that what it's called? I don't even know what are those caves. I know people always talk about it, but I've never really paid attention to that on what that is. So haven't been there. We've gone past Fox Hills, but we've never focused on it. Heather says Green Bay Hospital would get the visitor logs for 10/31/05. Yeah. Well, but why doesn't anybody talk to Scott's mother? I mean, maybe she won't remember at this point in time. I don't know, but she doesn't like Scott either, right? He's physically abused her. So why hasn't anybody asked the mother, was Scott there twice that day? Natalie says, is there any way to find out if Scott's mother is still alive? Yeah, I have no idea. And I know that Scott's brother, back when Making a Murderer first came out, he was on Facebook talking shit. But I don't think anybody's heard anything from that guy in forever. Tiffany, there was something called like the Maribel Caves or something like that. Rick Barber says Chilton. Is Chilton where what town did the Hallbacks live in, or do the Hallbacks live in? Jewel said, ooh, Maribel, the castle would be cool. It used to be a very fancy resort for the rich, I believe, but it burned down. Oh. Heather, I don't know what Scott's mother's name is. And I don't, is there a criminal report from when Scott pushed? I don't think there's a report from when he pushed his mother around, just when it was a girlfriend. Yeah, Natasha says she's probably old as dirt by now. Yeah, she's got to be. Yeah, Heather says Teresa's town was Chilton. Okay. Rick says Chilton is where the Calumet County Sheriff is located. Ooh, should I go by Sweaty Sweat's house? Remember when somebody in gossip lives by him and they took a picture of his house and posted it, and he filed a report that that was like stalking him, and he was feared for his life. And he always loves when I post pictures of him. Well, his daughter's sister wife does anyway. Rick says, not what I had in mind. Heather says his $300,000 home. He's such a prize. He's so gross. Maybe I should go see if I can find any sweat. Let's look for some sweat DNA. Idiot. He's such an idiot. I can't wait until he goes away. that he's still trying so desperately to be relevant in this story. And I'm never going to understand how we've talked about this before, that you can prosecute two people for the same crime but completely different theories. This one's in the library with the candlestick, and this one's in the foyer with the bat. How does that happen? Jules says he lost that house. He lives in a station wagon now. Natasha says, I don't know why he's still even yapping about it. Ooh, Trish says Al Capone stayed at the Maribel Hotel. Al Capone is buried here in the Chicagoland area. Heather says, interview Wiegert. Should I ask him what's really on Bobby's computer? What's all on Bobby's computer? Or was that Wiegert or Fassbender? Fassbender is the one that came out of retirement, right? Fassbender came out of retirement and Wiegert's now a sheriff or whatever. Is that what it is? I can't keep track of it all. Jules says, okay, needs to keep interjecting because he is actually helping us find the truth. He starts Twitter rants and his lies just fall off his fingers. How about him posting the video of Stephen talking with Buting when you can't? Those are private. That's client attorney privilege or whatever. How? I know he's posting it because he wants it to be a shot at Buting because, he's so jealous that Buting's been able to make a successful career of writing a book on the case where he failed epically. But two wrongs don't make a right. So even if you're going to say what Buting was doing was wrong, that Buting was filming Stephen to give that footage to the documentarians for Making a Murderer, you can't be filming that at all. And then it's the slippery slope of, if I've ever been questioned there, now I would say, how do I know that you weren't watching me with my attorney? And now I didn't get a fair trial. And nobody's talking about that. Nobody. I haven't seen Kathleen tweet about it. News hasn't said anything. Sweaty Sweat's just getting away with that. Ugh. Heather says, ooh, how about a live with Sandra? Yeah. I said I'll talk to anybody, but oh God, she's obnoxious. I'm sorry. To lie to Stephen because she wants him to like her best. It's just really pathetic. Jules says, ooh, Heather, that would go over like a lead balloon. Debbie says, I want to braid Jeff's beard. Well, Jeff does that. What do you call it? No shave ember or whatever it's called, so he's a furry beast to begin with, that you can shave and then you've got a full beard later that day. So he does that thing of all of November that he won't get his hair cut or shave his face because it's for testicular cancer awareness. Pam says, I bet Brad does. He would like to be interviewed. Oh God. Yeah, I'm sure he would, Pam. Natasha says Movember. There you go. Yeah, he's done that for years. So, he always has the tusks, but now everything else is growing. And then he ends up leaving it for a while. So, then, this big furry thing, and then all of a sudden it's all gone. Mm. And I think it's weird that Jeff is here in the house somewhere watching this right now. It's coming from inside the house. Natasha says, get Barb on cam. I have a few words for her. Well, I will show you where Barb and Scott live when we go to Manitowoc. So if Barb would like to say hello. The last time Jeff and I went up there, the video is actually pretty hysterical because we kept like getting lost because the GPS is just so screwy up there. And all of a sudden when we were driving, I'm like, that's Barb's house. Because I also remember the name of her street is a weird name. So when we were on there, I'm like, this is Barb's street. And I'm like, oh, there's Barb's house. So Heather says, is Two Rivers part of Manitowoc? Yeah, so Manitowoc is a county, and there's also a Manitowoc town. But so yeah, the salvage yard, the town is Two Rivers, but it's in Manitowoc County. So Barb's town is Mishicot, but it's right next to Two Rivers. Maz says, anyone know how to put pick on account? Oh yeah, don't ask me. And there's Rick answering you about Two Rivers and Manitowoc. So two cities side by side. Yeah, so the salvage yard is Two Rivers. And then yeah. I'm getting myself confused now on places there. So Rick, do you live in the area, in the Manitowoc area? I think you may have told me before. Okay, so Rick, did you live there back when this originally happened? Because I would love to hear your thoughts on when you had just the press and then what you know now. So did you think guilty at first because that's what press was showing you? And of course, there's Sweaty Sweat's press conference, poisoning the jury pool. Debbie said, would be nice if the Hallbacks would talk with you. They lost, because I'm not somebody that believes Teresa is still alive. I just say we don't know for sure what happened to her. So at the end of the day, they lost Teresa. No matter who did what. I do think that Michael Hallbach is part of helping law enforcement plant the RAV4. Oh, Rick said innocent from day one. Do you know the family at all? Or have you ever dealt with the family? Like, did you shop at the salvage yard ever? Jordan says, I have lived in Green Bay growing up and remember seeing her pictures. Did you think guilty at first, Jordan? Jordan says, I remember my parents thinking something was off and they had known Kratz had bad reputation even before Teresa Hallbach case. Huh. Kratz is creepy. I mean, he just is. And with what he did to crime victims, for him to think that anybody should listen to anything he has to say about anything ever, he really should just crawl in a hole. why are you still out there when you have creeped on how many women? So gross. Jordan says, I was in middle school, but my parents thought he was innocent. So that's two now, because I've always believed that the bulk of the people up there would originally think guilty, because that's what press is showing. Plus, you know, the Avery family did not have a good reputation. They've got, multiple arrests and all of that. And this family living in a junkyard type thing, kind of like an Addams family, outcast thing. So I just assumed people at that time thought guilty. Trish said, type in Maribel Caves, Wisconsin sickness. It will come up Maribel Caves Hotel Hell in Maribel. Very interesting. Ooh, all right. Definitely we'll have to look into that, Trish. Heather said, because his ego is fatter than his is that a swear? Can I say ass on YouTube? Rick says, message me later. Natasha says, and Rick, you can always too, I have an email of justicewithjax@gmail.com. So people can feel free to email that at any time too, if somebody wants to pass something my way. So justicewithjax@gmail.com. Okay, so Natasha asked, were the jurors mostly local? And Rick said all were local. And Jules said jurors must live in the county. But the jurors pissed me off that there were two jurors that are affiliated with the Manitowoc Sheriff's Department. How are they even in that jury pool? And I know I talked to Buting about this when we were in Chicago at the 7th Circuit for Brendan. And so I asked him on that, on why they, because they have the X amount of strikes, why wouldn't they take them out? And so it's basically they stacked that jury pool, that they were going to be getting people in that jury no matter what, that was going to say guilty. So there was no way ever that Stephen was going to be able to get a fair trial, because even if all of the jurors said not guilty, there was going to be at least one that would say guilty. And so Buting told me that they used their strikes on, he said, believe it or not, people that were even worse. How is anybody worse than Carl Wardsman or Wardman, whatever his name is, that, the picture, if you Google image Stephen Avery and you see him in the orange jumpsuit and he's cuffed and there's a woman law enforcement on one side of him, and so the dude that's on it, the dude's on his left, that's Carl Wardman's son. And then you can also Google Wardman, whichever it is, and you'll see him. He was a Manitowoc Sheriff's Department community service officer. So it's a picture of him with the car. That's a guy that's on Stephen's jury when he's suing the Manitowoc Sheriff's Department. How is that guy on the jury? And then the other person was married to a deputy. Maz says, to be honest, I would have said he was guilty if I lived there, because I was brought up to believe and trust in the police, law enforcement. It wasn't until Making a Murder came out that I started to question it. I agree, Maz. I'm the same way. I've said I've grown up with my white skin in a suburb, and so I've never been harassed by police, and I don't have a reason to doubt them. So if they told me something, I'd just believe it. So yeah. Rick says, but there were 3 that were removed. Really, 3? I think I've only heard 2 before. Interesting. Heather says, I don't understand the whole jury Pizzagate thing. I don't remember it all now, Heather, because I've forgotten so much about this case now over the years, but it was somebody from Manitowoc Sheriff's Department bought them pizza and ate pizza with them and bought them drinks. It's like, what? Natasha says, I don't fault jurors, really. I've been on a jury, and it's easy for some to be swayed or bullied into changing their vote. I was on a jury once. The charge was possession of an illegal narcotic with intent to deliver. So the guy was dealing cocaine. And it was an undercover cop bust where, so they had the plan to meet at some parking lot, and that's where the switch, the buy was going to happen. So we have undercover video and undercover audio, all that. The guy is guilty. My jury lasted 2.5 days discussion because people wanted to drag it out for the pay, which the pay is nothing, and they would buy you food, which who cares? And so then you had somebody who was just taking it far too seriously, and they said the legal definition of the word possession is something like you have complete control over it. And so since this is a sting operation, if the dealer had decided, no, I don't want to do this, and would try to drive away, well, they had the place with undercover surrounding it that they would never be able to get away. They would still be arrested. So they said, so therefore they never had possession of it, not guilty. And so, I was in the jury room at one point. I was literally hitting my forehead on the table and saying, you are a smurfing idiot, because this was just stupid. The guy was clearly guilty. Jules says the jury foreman was law enforcement, and he bullied and threatened the jurors that were undecided, per Rick Mahler, excused juror. Yeah, and there was some other weird stuff that happened with Mahler with his stepdaughter, and car accident and all that. Tiffany says, but there wasn't any evidence to what they were claiming. Heather says, if they're law enforcement, they should have been disqualified before the selection portion of the Smurf show. Rick says, check my email. Let me pull up my email on this other screen over here. And it's going really, really slow. Hold, please. Yep, I got your email. So, Rick, yeah, when I come, if anybody would like to talk with me, maybe we can do lunch. So I'll respond to your email later, Rick, but thank you very much. Tiffany says, seems a lot of things they did was illegal. How can all this happen? I don't get it. I don't get any of it. Oh, God, that's so creepy. Jeff is now walking up the stairs and I'm hearing my voice. Jordan says, I think growing up in Green Bay, I have seen that a lot of uneducated, low-income, blue-collar people don't win cases. Jordan, have you been to the salvage yard? How long of a drive is it from, how long is it from the Green Bay Hospital to the salvage yard? Because that's something too that never seems to make any sense to me, because Barb gets home from work that day at 5, right? And isn't it that Scott's picking her up at 5:30? And then they go to the hospital. And then she's back at 8 something, because then we hear Steven in those 116 calls, when he's talking to Jody, and He's like, up, there she goes, she's leaving again. And so it was like 8:16 or something like that. So how long is that drive? Oh, here Jordan is down there. It's about 20 minutes from my house, maybe 15 from Aurora Baycare Hospital. Oh, so it's not that far. Okay. Because I was thinking it was like a further drive of, so picking her up at 5:30. So I'm like, so what is it, a half-hour drive and you're there at 6? And then what, you only stay there like an hour? I don't know. Okay, Jordan says just check Google Maps and it says 27. I was a little off. So, I mean, and I'm horrible with numbers, but it just seems weird to me that so she's picked up at 5:30. It means they're getting there around 6. But then what time did she get back? Because she was leaving to go, or no, she was leaving to go to Scott's at 9 something, right? When prison break was completely over. It was 9 something, not 8 something, was it? But it was, Stephen talked about Barb had washed the dishes. And him and Brendan went over there, and because Stephen had to make the smart Smurf remark of that she washed Brendan's dishes. Why isn't this going off when I get email? Jordan, just like Stephen said, poor people lose. Poor people lose all the time. Jordan says, interesting. We should make a timeline. Yeah, I mean, for people who haven't followed me in the lives on Facebook, I am horrible at numbers, and it's really not a joke. It is something seriously with my brain that numbers don't. It's weird. I'll forget how old I am. I can't my phone number, all the, so I'm bad with numbers. Natalie said, yeah, Jody called at 5:36 p.m. and around 9 p.m. Okay. Because, yeah, I remember, because it's a big deal too on that, because both Scott and Barb have testified that they were watching Prison Break, which Prison Break here, and their central time zone, like I am, was on from 8 to 9 p.m. And I believe that too was from 7 to 8 was like the last week's episode, and then from 8 to 9 was the new episode or whatever. And they said they weren't watching it recorded. So when Stephen is saying that Barb is leaving at 9:16 or whatever time that was, there's no way they watched Prison Break. So why are you lying and saying you're watching Prison Break when there's no possible way? Because here, Prison Break was on Fox, and nightly television on Fox ends at 9 p.m. and then Fox has news on from 9 to 10, at least here in the Chicago area. I don't know if that's the same in Wisconsin, but it would still be the same time zone that Prison Break is done by 9 p.m. there. Debbie says, wasn't Barb at her mom's while Stephen was commenting about her leaving again? Oh, I don't know about that, if Barb was at her mom's. I don't recall. Can I visit Jody in prison? Smurf, that Smurf. You can have horrible breakups, but she knows that Stephen is innocent. And for her to turn around now and try and say that he's guilty and she was abused and all that, that's despicable. Jules, numerical dyslexia. There you go. Debbie says that would be interesting, Jax, about Jody. Yeah. Now I gotta sneeze. Take beer and smokes. Both Natasha and Debbie. One said smokes and one says cigarettes. Yeah. Oh, and she wants a ring from Walmart. That's $20. Because I've never seen it. And it's only $20 and I want it. Jules asks, Maz says, oh dear, I'm crying. Yeah, beer and smokes. How far is Oshkosh from Manitowoc, where Brendan is? I don't know. Oshkosh is supposed to be closer to them than Columbia Correctional, correct? So, okay, there's Rick, because I was going to say locals, 60 miles. Yeah, so it's supposed to be, because Columbia wasn't that close to them. And I also know, like for Barb and Scott, they don't like to take major roads. Well, before I was told it's because they're uncomfortable driving on like highways, because like they were really scared to come down here and afraid of our traffic. But maybe there's other reasons why they don't want to drive on major roads. What other trouble can they get into? So, and I believe that Oshkosh prison, and Rick, maybe you can fill us in on that prison is supposed to be a better place for Brendan. That he can just live better there. There's more better opportunities for him. Plus with his mom being closer. I don't know if that means that she'll go visit him more, because she does put Scott in hunting before her incarcerated son. Heather says, all the speeding ticks Barb's gotten, I call BS. It's not Barb that has all the speeding tickets. That's Carla. I don't think Barb has the speeding tickets. Rick says better and less security. Thank you very much, Rick. And or Columbia, I was going to say Calumet. Columbia is where Dahmer was. So, and I have only been to Columbia once when I did a ride along with someone when they were visiting Brendan. I wasn't on the list. I then waited in the car, but so I only went that one time. Heather says, oh, I thought she had a lot of speeding tickets. My bad. Yeah, I don't believe she's got speeding tickets. It's Carla who's got a whole lot. And, I may despise Carla, but I'm not going to talk Smurf about speeding tickets, because I'm on two. Currently, I got one when I was visiting Stephen on my way back. Wisconsin nailed me. And then I got one down by the prison that I visit the girls here in Illinois. So I'm on 2 speeding tickets in 1 year. And so if I get one more, I lose my license. So it's really horrible now when I drive on every other Wednesday to go visit Melissa and Marnie, that I'm setting my cruise control and keeping me, under the 11 over the speed limit. So hopefully not to get that third ticket, and all the cars that are zooming around me. Oh, I hate it. But got to do what I got to do. Miley says easier to move weed around on the side roads. Well, and for those that don't know, Barb was arrested with a large quantity of pot. It was Scott's pot that she was arrested for. And the charge miraculously disappeared, went away. She got away with it. And she gave away her son instead. Heather, go visit Chris Watts too. Ugh, gross. And Julie says, Dahmer, whoa, here he comes. He's a man eater. Oh, God. I'm sorry that I subject you guys to my horrible singing. But when I tell you that I can't retain numbers, then on the flip side, things remind me of songs and I sing it out all the time. I don't, yeah, sorry. Heather says, girl, I'm a lead foot too. Yep. And Debbie says, you got a lead foot, Jax. I absolutely do. Not currently, because I'm setting that stupid cruise control, which I've never, ever, ever used the cruise control until then. So that's new to me too. But it's actually kind of nice to, that I'm able to, oh, I don't have to have my foot on there the whole time. So, but when I go to Manitowoc, Jeff will be with me and he'll be driving. So I don't have to worry about that at all. He can speed as much as he wants. When's the last time you got a speeding ticket, Jeff?
That I had to pay for?
Just when's the last time you got a speeding ticket?
The last ticket I got was for 198 miles an hour neighborhood, but I didn't pay that one.
But how long ago was it?
6-7 years.
Yeah. So 6-7 years. So he doesn't have to worry about it. So he can speed all he wants when we go to Manitowoc. Debbie says, my kids say I drive like a grandma. That's sure not me. But Marnie Yang's kids, when I was with them for something or another, and I mentioned to them, that I go to the prison every other Wednesday, and they're more than welcome to come with me, And so her daughter Emily's like, well, wait, do you drive like my grandpa? No, I do not drive like your grandpa. And speaking of that too, oh, I should put it in my phone so I remember. I'm going to be meeting up with Emily and Fartoon. Fartoon is Emily's best friend for forever, and Marnie considers her a daughter, calls her daughter. And Fartoon owns a art gallery, and they want to do an art show fundraiser to help Marnie pay her legal fees, but they don't know how to organize this fundraiser. So, and I've done a couple art show fundraisers and other stuff. So I'm going to be like mentoring them, helping them get this organized. So I'm meeting them on Tuesday. We're going to go to dinner and discuss. And so if any of you are artists, any form of art, and you want to donate a piece for us to try and sell at the art show, you can use that justicewithjax@gmail.com and let me know. We'll be doing where, we'll charge people X amount per person to come into the art show. We'll serve appetizers and some drinks. And then we're going to have artists who either donate pieces that we can try to sell, or be there and show their art, and they can still try to sell it, but a percentage of the sale has to go to Marnie's legal defense. So Jeff likes to take nature photographs, so there'll be some Jeff framed pictures, so it doesn't just have to all be, with brush or pencil. So let me know if you're interested in that. And that will be in the Chicagoland area. I told them we would want to pick a date that's at least a month out and give us time to, plan it and promote it and, try and get a good turnout for it. So there's plenty of time if, you would like to create something special that is specific to wrongfully accused or Marnie or, whatever. Jules says, I've had one ticket, speeding in 1996, one and only, and my car insurance is still ridiculous. Yeah, the last speeding ticket before these two for me was 1989. That was my one and only from 1989. And now I got nailed with 2 in 1 year. Heather says, I've got a lot of artwork I'd love to donate. Just need a mailing address. Awesome. Heather, you could always ship it to Jeff's shop. So, Jeff, can you type your shop's address? He's groaning. So yeah, you can ship that to Advance Offset Press. So either Jeff will be typing that in here, or you can message me or email the justicewithjax@gmail.com. Mallory's begging me to go out, just so you know. And Jeff just put his address in there. Heather says, get ready, Jeff. Yeah, thank you so much, Heather. I know that go. That Marnie is really looking forward to it. She doesn't draw or any, but Marnie writes poetry. So, and she really loves that her girls want to try and do something to raise money for her legal defense. In Marnie's case, see, Stephen, Kathleen is doing that case pro bono. So Stephen doesn't have legal bills. Melissa Kaluzinski's case, there's this secret benefactor that's paying her legal bills. So Melissa doesn't have any legal bills. Marnie, the only person that was helping her with legal bills is her dad. And her dad was retired, and now he's had to like get a part-time job, and we're trying for her to get a new trial, and there's going to be now so much money to pay. So, but Marnie doesn't like to just take money from people. It makes her uncomfortable. So that's why everything we try to do in Marnie's case is you get something for your donation. So you've got that WMPCI group, the Citizen Investigator Group, where it's a $10 membership to get into that closed Facebook group. But with that, that's where you're getting all the filings, all the exhibits, the audio, the crime scene photos. So you're getting something for that. You're getting access to stuff that other people don't have. And then there's the book, which, now I can show you better, because every time I try to show you stuff before, it would just white it out. So there's this book, My Mom Marnie. All right. Not a big book. See, look at that. It's not a big book at all. This is written by Marnie's kids. And I have 3 copies that her kids autographed. And so I still need to make some kind of, contest or something to try and make money by winning these autographed copies. But you can also go to marnieyang.com, and that's where you can purchase a copy of My Mom Marnie. And I believe it's also available on Amazon. And it's only 100 and something pages. It's only 120 pages, but there's a whole bunch of pages of pictures too. So, and the thing that I always make sure I tell people when I'm discussing this book is this book is written by her kids. So that's Andrew and Emily. They're twins. And this is Brandon. So they were 16 at the time of the crime, and Brandon was 11. So, and it's 11 years later now. So this book is their story and what was done to them. And it is written in their words. People have complained before of, this isn't telling us about, what happened. No, this is telling you what happened to these kids. So think about what was done to Brendan. It was done to these kids. And Miley's saying it's an easy read. Yeah, it's an easy read because it is the kids' stories in the kids' words. I've told this story before, but it was the book goes to an editor and then you get to see, a draft of it. And so when it came back and Emily read it, she's like, no, and she refers to Andrew as her other half. She's like, that's not how my other half talks. Put it back. So that's what this is. And the profit of this book gets the kids get some and Marnie's legal defense gets some. So it's, again, instead of just saying, hey, put money in this, this crowdfunding thing, whatever service you use that you're just giving money. It's just always trying to find ways that you're going to get something for your, little bit of money. So my mom, Marnie, and in Marnie's case, there was just a hearing on Tuesday this week. And so the judge ruled at that hearing that they need another month because when the filing was turned in last month, it was 600 and something pages. There's a lot to go over there. There's a lot of evidence in there to prove Marnie's innocence. And so the judge wants another month to go over it, which is totally understandable. Nobody's upset. Well, I shouldn't say nobody's upset, but because, of course, there's people that want this to get done and, it's been 11 years. But I'm not mad at the judge for needing another month. So there's a hearing set for second week in December. And hopefully that's when we will be told if either they're going to say Marnie is released or new trial or denied. Those are our three options. So, and a development that happened that I find very interesting is that the victim in the case, her best friend, has read the 600 something pages of the filing. And so she has now come out publicly to say she believes that Marnie is innocent and she believes Sean Gale is guilty. Sean Gale was the victim's baby daddy, as well as because you can't when somebody is dating or having sex with 17 girls at the same time, can you really say that they're dating or that's their boyfriend or girlfriend type thing? Can you really when it's 17 girls at the same time? So Marnie had been having sex with him for years, and because they were real estate partners, they would buy real estate together and flip it. And so she would, on occasion, she would have sex with him, but he wasn't her boyfriend. So, Jewel says, it would be cool to see where KZ's office is. It would be a great end for your traveling video. I've done that before because Kathleen's office is less than 10 minutes from my house. So I have gone all the way up to her office and taken pictures. And the way her office is too, it's, because it's in this big building and, So glass windows, and then you walk into this, entryway room that's, couches and all this kind of stuff. But like you see nobody or nothing, because they're on the other side of this door or whatever, and you would have to ring a bell to like talk to somebody, and they don't necessarily answer you because I'm sure there's cameras or something there. But yeah, I can absolutely be a creeper and go over there and show you what her office looks like. She's actually right across the street from the local Home Depot. Her office is just the next town for me. Yeah, Jules, Marnie had twins. Jules says, at least that judge is willing to go through everything, not like Judge Flowers in Stephen's case. Yeah, I don't think Judge Flowers even looks at it. Heather says, I think it was a hit that Sean Gale ordered. Yep. Miley says, and it's right by Red Lobster. Yes, it is. It is. So you've got the highway. And so a road that goes over it. There's Kathleen's office. Across the street is a Home Depot. Then here's the highway. And then at the corner is a steakhouse and a Red Lobster. And then, there's restaurants on all four corners there. And I've taken the Kaluzinskis when they've gone for meetings at Kathleen's office. I've met with them after the meeting, and we've gone out to dinner since they're in the area. Oh, Jewel says, get some cheese biscuits. I'm surprised Jeff isn't yelling right now.
Off the list.
There you go. He says off the list. Because we went to Red Lobster a couple months ago, and it was horrible and expensive. I'm not trying to say it's a swanky fish place. Don't get me wrong there. But I used to love Red Lobster, and we went, was it 2 times? Because we gave it a second chance, and it's like, it's gone downhill, at least the one that we have. So we won't be going to Red Lobster any longer. It just wasn't great. And there's a fabulous fish place that's right down the road from us. Way gooder. How long have I been on? An hour and a half now.
Yeah, and the lasagna's done.
I ate dinner already.
Yeah, well then don't eat any lasagna, but it's done.
Jeff made dinner. So, all right, I'm going to end this. I'm sure Jeff's going to obsess about things when it's done. Twisted Angel. Yep, it is Twisted Angel. Says, yeah, I've heard Red Lobster has gone downhill lately. So, all right, I'm going to end this now and have dinner with Jeff, even though I already ate. And so I think maybe we'll do the double feature tomorrow. We'll at least do the one that's at 3 p.m. my time. And we'll watch, I'm always going to say Dreamcatcher, even though it's Dream Killer. So we'll do that tomorrow at 3 p.m. my time. It's 8:38 p.m. my time currently. And then we can do it again for evening shift. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining me for the very first time of trying to do a live on YouTube. And we will talk tomorrow.